Welcome back to my channel. Today we are reading of the Wolf Children. So let's start the reading. Six men sat on a wooden hunting platform. A platform had been hastily built during the heat of the day. Now, in the gathering twilight, the men knew that their long wait would soon be over. Below them, some 30 meters away, stood a giant anthil. It was on this that the men's attention was focused. One of the men licked his lips nervously. The anthil he knew had long ago been abandoned by ants. Now it was simply a hollow shell like cave. Inside it there lived jungle demons. Sunset was time for the demons to appear. It was October 9, 1920. Everyone in the village knew about jungle demons that they had heard their howls and their strange yelping cries. Several people had actually seen the demons. They were in appearance half human, half animal. The superstitious would no longer venture into the forest for fear of them. The forest was bathed in a deep red glow from the setting sun. The first of the large fruit beds fled past at the waiting man. Suddenly, there was a movement in the narrow entrance of the anthil. The man on the platform stiffened. One of them drew in his breath sharply while another tightened his grip on the stock of his rifle. Something was coming out of the anthil. It was a fully grown wolf. Behind it came a second wolf and then two small cubs. Then something else emerged. It was a demon, just as the villagers had said, half human and half animal. The demon was followed by action monsters much smaller than the first. Both of the creatures had mad hair which covered their faces, and both walked on all fours. They looked around cautiously before bounding after the wolves. The six men reacted in different ways. Two aimed their rifles at the strange creatures. One vaguely signaled them not to shoot. Then he began to write in his notebook. One man, too frightened to look, buried his face in his hands. The rest stared in disbelief. So the stories were true. They had seen the monsters for themselves. The man with the notebook was Mr. Ali. He had listened to the tales and chatter about demons and had been determined to prove that the stories were nonsense. Even so, it had taken a good deal of persuasion to find men who would take him to the demon's lair and wait with him while he observed them for himself. Back at the village, Mr. Ali ignored the excited talk of his five companions and read through the notes he had scribbled at the time. The creatures were hideous big beings he had written. Both of them ran on our shores. One he had put hand, foot, and body like a human being, but the head was a big ball of something covering the shoulders. He was convinced, however, that the creatures were not demons. What he felt sure he had seen were two children, about 4 or 5 years old. From the way the children had moved, Mr. Ali believed that they had been living with the wolves for a long time. He had no doubt about the what he should do next. He must rescue them. He did not even consider leaving them to go on living as wild animals. The next day, he tried to form a rescue party from among the men of the village. None of them would help him capture the wolf children. They still believed that the creatures were evil spirits. Mr. Ali was forced to seek help from another village 7 miles away. A week later, the hunting party advanced on the lair. As they neared the anthil, they spread out in a circle. They moved cautiously, beating the ground in front of them. They at once frightened many smaller animals into the open, but no wolves appeared. So, hope you like my video and reading also. like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.